Well, sis, thank you for your comment. And I think you asked me previously, what generation am I? I am Gen X. And I do remember and know that it takes a village. But in the words of my good sis Diamond Natural, whose video went viral and my duet of it went viral, the village left when these youngins decided they didn't want nobody disciplining their kids. That's when the village left. Because you can't say that there's no village when you want to tell the village how to operate. When again, we done been where you are, and you haven't been where we are. I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm speaking in generalities here. So that's part of it. The reason I chose to put this picture of my mom and my daughter when my daughter was 3, again, my village. I went to I was out of the state for at least 6 weeks at one point, and then another 6 months at the other during army training, and left my daughter with my mom and between my mother and my sister and her family. Do you think that I had the audacity to dictate how my mom took care of my child while I was gone? I could give some input, but again, I had to trust the village. I had to trust the village and allow the village to instruct me on some things and help me on some things. Because again, they had been where I was. You don't have that no more. Or we don't have that no more. So again, you can't be a village and then dictate, well, you can't talk to my child like that. You can't discipline my child. You can't, And see, that's the difference. And again, when my mother had me at 17, the village helped her with me. My mom said, she didn't know nothing about changing no diapers. She was still in high school. And she didn't have a mother figure even. She didn't. She was raised primarily by my grandfather. But it was the women in the neighborhood who helped her with this new baby that she didn't know what to do with. Or this new toddler that she didn't know what to do with. Or the women of the church. And I'm not saying it was all good, because it wasn't, but again, most of it was good. But now you don't want nobody telling, there was a time you can go into the grocery store, you see a little child acting up, and you can say, baby, don't do that. And the mother will be appreciative. Now you got the mother that'll cuss somebody out. How do I know? It happened in my presence. I got time today. The village tried to be a village. Gosh, it was about, let's say, I want to say maybe 2021, something like that. I go to visit my mom. It's in the dead of summer in North Carolina. Go to a beauty supply store. I drop my mother and my sister off, and I go find a parking space. But I see the parking space next to me, there's a van with the air running. We got 2 babies in it. One in the car seat, and one looked like he about 3, 4. And I'm looking, before I get out of the car, I'm waiting to see, okay, is somebody going to come out? And then when nobody comes out, I go in and I say, Mommy, these babies out here. She said, call the police. So apparently the woman or the mama hears us talking, and comes over. She said, somebody's outside. I said, yeah. I said, are those your kids in the van? She said, yeah. And my mom said, go get those babies. Go get those babies. Instead of the woman being appreciative that someone's looking out for her child, she commences as she's walking out the door. At first, she was like, she didn't really think too much, but as she's walking out the door, I guess she gets a revelation. Who is this old bitch telling me what to do? So she's cussing out the door. So again, trying to be a part of the village, because we looking out for your kids, because you're too busy buying hair. Yo, thank you for that is cussing on the way out. Wait, I got another one for you. My mom tells me, this was before I wasn't around at this time, goes to, I don't know if it was Home Depot, Walmart, or whatever, but she's in line. And as she's in line, some girl, I think I can't remember if it's behind her or in front of her, is taking out her braids and putting the braids on the conveyor belt. My mom says to her, sweetheart, baby, you're too beautiful. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because see, as part of the village, like my mother grew up and like I grew up, we would have said, okay, thank you, ma'am. What does she do? She gets her stuff. Let me get out of here before I have to whoop an old bitch. So Talk about it takes a village. The village left when can't nobody say shit to you. Thanks, but try again.